What is up, guys? Today I'll be teaching you how to become a better builder in Minecraft. You might go from this to this. I know that's a big jump, but don't worry, this tutorial is fairly easy, and I hope that it helps you. Alright guys, so the first thing you want to do is plan out your builds. As you see here, I planned out a smaller house, and you want to use you can use any block. But I chose to use wool for this because it just adds a nice contrast and stuff. And then you want to delete the inside walls. And then that's your basic floor plan for the whole house. And once you detail it, it'll turn out beautiful. The next thing you want to do is you want to find a color palette or a block palette for your build. Here are two that I found on the internet. I took some of these from some pictures that I found online, and this one's really cool because it has like a black roof and a white wall, and it just pops out and it gives it a contrast, so it pops out. This one has like a bluish, dark blue terracotta roof, and you could probably add some andesite on the wall too to make it pop out. And just add some frames using logs or any other thing. You could use pillars, and I chose to use the spruce floor because it just looks pretty good. Next thing you want to do is you want to add depth to your build. As you see, this example here is just flat. I used some other blocks to give a detail on the wall. It just looks weird and flat, and it doesn't look professional. It looks pretty basic. I mean, if you're beginning Minecraft, I would do that. And then this is better. It has the frame here on the top, and it just looks way better. I mean, I would probably extend it a bit using the log and just detail it. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain this, but I'll just add like a little window here. A lantern would be nice, grass, maybe some trapdoors. So here's the part where most people struggle with, is the detail. For example here, I just added some stairs on the corners to give it a little bit of depth and just to make it look a little better. I added trapdoors and grass, put some plants there, I added a lantern. You could add some buttons on the pillars, or you could just add that. And then I would leave it a little blank there, and then I would add some glass. And it acts as a beautiful little window. And that's just one example. I might add some trapdoors as little shutters, but I'd rather just leave it as it is. And here's the part where you top off the build, quite literally. Here's a standard roof. It looks pretty good. You just add some stairs going up in a fashion like that, and then you add some on the bottom just to give it a little cool little look. Here's a slab roof where I just added some slabs over that. It's pretty self-explanatory. It looks pretty good. I would use that for modern builds such as a modern house or anything. It just looks pretty good. And then here's my favorite type of roof, the A-frame roof. It just looks absolutely phenomenal. You could add a slab at the top, but I'd rather keep it as a stair. It just looks really good with medieval or fantasy type builds. And you could add some trees around the house to make it look really good. I would add some frames around the front. I'm gonna do an example later in the video of a house that I built in the past, including this. Here's a little example of some detail and adding a roof and adding these walls. Here's a little entrance made out of some slabs, walls, and fences. I added some plants. I added a lantern there too to give it some lighting. Here I added some stairs with a potted plant. I added a lantern there. I made a little window and let it add some light inside. I added these stairs there for like a little windowsill and stuff. Do not be afraid to use full blocks for your roof. This little bit right here, do not be afraid to keep that there. I just use blackstone. I just use that for most of my roofs. And you can add some little fences on top or any walls and stuff, just to give it some more detail. You could add buttons anywhere, or you could add some leaves on the top of your roof. The next thing is landscaping. You could add a pond or trees. I'm gonna make a tree in a bit. Here's a little example of a pond. I added clay, cobblestone, mossy cobblestone, coarse dirt. I just laid it on the bottom and filled it up with water, and I bone mealed the bottom to make it look more random and natural. It's pretty easy. There's some good tutorials out there on YouTube for making ponds. I'm not really the best. You can add some fish in it, but I just think it's fairly easy to do this. Here is a time lapse of me building a tree. Feel free to copy what I'm doing. I just make a big trunk at the bottom. I add some branches. I start making them smaller at the top, and then I add leaves at the top and at the bottom. Just try to like span the leaves. It doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical. I mean, it's a tree. Trees are trees, and they can be however you want it, or just completely random. It's entirely up to you. Here is one of my builds as an example that proves that with great practice come great results. This took me a couple days to make. I know you will be able to build like this soon too.